Welcome back to the channel, guys. Today we are going to test the Tamron 70-210 f4 and see, is it a diamond in the rough or is it just a piece of trash? Let's check it out and find out. So the other day I took my wife and we went out. I've used this 70-210 Tamron f4, not an f2.8, f4. So you'll know technically the one I'm talking about. It is the Tamron 70-210 F4 DI VC USD. You can get them now for about $300 used. And this one's in really good shape. I've used it for years. It's been a fantastic lens. And I was thinking, it is so expensive for these new Canon RF lenses, you know, to take a Canon R6. If I want to go put a new 70-210 on it, I'm looking at around, anywhere from $1,300 to $2,000, depending on which one I go with. So you guys know I like bargains, so I like to find the used gear that works. And there's plenty of it out there to be found. So took my wife to do a photo shoot, and I was originally going to make a video of the whole shoot, but I decided we won't go through the video of the entire shoot. I'll just shoot the pictures and show them to you, and we'll talk about each picture. And I did shoot this with the new Godox V100, and I'll talk about that just a little bit. Saturday's video, the entire video is about the Godox V100, so don't miss Saturday's video. But let's talk some about this Tamron 70-210 right now. You can get this for around $300 to $350 with a warranty from KEH. It's an excellent lens. I don't know what there is to not like about it. I have tried and tried and tried to find something I don't like about it. Now, maybe it isn't the fastest to focus in the world, but for what I need, it's plenty fast. I really have no qualms with it. It's just, it does its job. I shot last year, I got into a bind. I was shooting a senior class, and there were about 90 students. I was having to shoot from one side of the gym to the other, and I ended up, not my plan, I was going to use studio lights, all that went down the drain in about 15 minutes, so you had to improvise. You photographers know what that's like when you go in with the perfect plan, and 10 minutes later, none of that plan is now in effect. You're in plan C now. So plan C ended up being with my Tamron 70-210 f4. Did a fantastic job on the pictures. They loved them. It was great. I was shocked in a way because I'm like, wow, I was not expecting to have to use that to get that particular shot. But you never know in photography sometimes what you're up against until you get there and find out. So let's have a look at these pictures. Now, the first three, let me pull these up. Okay, so this first picture we're looking at right here, this is shot with the Godox V100 on TTL, all set at 0, and I did not adjust it. You can see just how bright that is. The next image, I reduced the TTL to -1, still overexposed. The next image, you can guess, went down to -2, still too bright. The next image, it's much better, but it's set -3, and -3 is a lot on TTL. So I flipped off of TTL, and we went to manual, and there you can see in that picture right there, things start getting a lot better when we shot manual. And again, the video for the Godox V100 comes out Saturday, so in just 48 hours you'll be able to see that video, and it'll be completely all about that flash. So be sure to catch that video this Saturday. It should be out at 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, so be sure and check that out. The rest of this video is going to be about the Tamron lens, excuse me. So as we get to this picture, I think you can notice, and these are all shot at f4, I think the colors look really well. I think the background blur is fine right there. It's not as wiped out as a 1.8 would be, but I think it looks really good. We'll take a look at the next picture. And, that shirt that she's got on, I think goes well with the surrounding area, the woods and the trees. I think it looks kind of cool. The contrast, I think, looks really good. The next picture is very similar to that other one. Now this one, you can see the light really comes in and it picks up the light on her face. It's not overly sharp, but I think it looks really good for a portrait style shot. I really like that, and you can see that background at f4 is really, because that's probably shot, I didn't mark it down. This lens goes from 70-210. I was moving that around, and of course, the closer you get to the 210, the more depth field, the more blurry your depth field is going to be. So as we see the blurrier depth of field, we'll know that I shot that at probably around 135 or upwards. So here's one. That one's probably shot at about 135 because the depth of field is really just about gone in that one. But I think the picture just looks really good. And remember, we're talking about a $300 lens here. We're not talking about a $2,000 lens. This is a $300 lens you can get used right now. This next one's a headshot of her laughing in the background. That's probably shot about 200, maybe 210, because the background is just about gone. And that is just f4, guys. There's no 2.8. I think that looks really good. I'll move on to the next shot. The background's not quite as blown away. That's probably back down around the 135 range. But the black background still is blurred out plenty enough, and I think she looks good. I think the contrast looks good. I think the sharpness is about right. For $300, I think it's just a fabulous lens. And there is another picture. Looks good. Her eyes pop. I really just like this lens. I like the color it gives me. And this image right here, this looks good. Same kind of deal. This one, her standing sideways looking straight into the camera. She's got a good smile. I think the camera, the lens is just doing a really good job right there. I don't see any problems with any kind of issues like chromatic aberration or anything like that. I think it's just doing a really, really good job for portraits. And it doesn't cost that much money. This one also, you can see the little fence behind her, the little bridge. It's blurry. That's probably shot at around 135. I didn't mark these down to look to tell you exactly. I meant to, I apologize. But they're all shot between 70 to 210 because that's what the lens does. And the f4 is what I shot on everything. So this is a shot of her kneeling on the ground. She wanted to do one on the ground. And I think that looks good. You can see the brightness in the sides of the railing come out versus the one before it. So we've got plenty of light there, the f4. It just looks really good. And the V100 shot in manual is doing a fantastic job. Here's more of a headshot. Now this one is probably shot up around 200 because we really blew away the background. But I think it looks good for that shot. It brings the emphasis on her. And here is another shot. This is probably more around, shot around 100, maybe at 70. Background still blurred just enough. The image I think looks good. The contrast, there's something about the contrast and the color in this lens that I really, really like. I think it just gives off a nice color and has good skin tones. And then the last shot we'll have of her, it's just her. She'll looking right in the camera, kneeling. Good portrait. I think it looks good. I think that is highly sellable. I don't think that anybody would take a look at that image and say, wow, you shot that with about a $300 lens. You need to go spend another $2,000 to make that print look a lot better. I just don't think that's going to happen. But anyway, guys, so that is our pictures. Overall, I think this is just a fantastic lens, and I think it is a diamond in the rough. It's quiet at focusing. It's not the quietest lens ever at focusing, but it's pretty quiet. It has vibration reduction, VR, they call it, instead of what the other lenses call it, but they call it VC for vibration control, vibration control. I think that's what they call it. Everybody has names for it. I get it confused, but I believe it's vibration control. It's just their version of image stabilization with whatever they want to call it. So, and it did a fine job. But anyway, guys, looking through the images, what did you think? I think they look pretty good. I really don't think anybody's looking at that going, wow, that's a cheap lens you shot those with. I think that lens does a good job. And if you're in the market for a lens of 70 to 200 and f4, and you're looking to spend around $300-400 tops, this is the way to go. I've shot with the Canon 70 to 200 f4. I wasn't impressed with it any more than I'm impressed with this one. And usually I'm a Sigma guy. Usually I go Sigma over Tamron, but for this reason, I don't remember what happened because it's been a few years back that I bought this lens, but I ended up with a Tamron and I never got rid of it because it's just done a fantastic job. This is it. Nothing crazy fancy about it. It does come with your filter. So anyway, it does the job, and that's what I'm looking for from a lens. I'm looking for it to do the job. I'm looking for it to do it right. I'm not looking for anything over sharpened, and I don't want any issues with it. I want it to be good enough so that I can use my knowledge through the camera and the flash to use this lens to get a final image that will sell to a customer, and then the customer will be happy with when I put it in their hands. So anyway, guys, if you have the Tamron, let me know. If we're helping you guys out, give us a big thumbs up and hit that subscribe button. You guys have a great day, and don't forget to check out Saturday's video on the Godox V100. Y'all have a good day.